was a child of 9, I collected Buck Rogers comic strips because they were the future. And oh, I could hardly wait every night for the newspaper to arrive. And I'd rush out and smell the newspaper. And it smelled good. You know why? Because the future was in there. But the people in the 4th grade at school made fun of me. And I tore up these strips that I'd been collecting. Huh? And a month or so later, I burst into tears and said, why am I crying? Well, I was crying because I'd torn up the future.
I was the co-author of a study that came out last fall that got a lot of attention with the title, What Do Our 17-Year-Olds Know? And one of the things that seemed to come out of it was that the things that they know, they're not learning in school. They're learning mainly through television and the popular culture.
There would have been time for such a word tomorrow and tomorrow and... could you read this speech to me, please?
Who would you like to read it?
The Williamson reading.
The Queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word tomorrow. Tomorrow.
I do it more like a newspaper story. Is that okay?
That's fine, Holly. But try to stick to one particular event in the story, like Lady Macbeth's suicide or Duncan's murder.
This is so stupid.
The biggest problem teachers have is motivating students to want to learn. The teacher has that tool to bring the kids to a kind of a fever pitch of wanting to complete a task, wanting to see something accomplished successfully. Then I think that this will become a tremendous resource for the teacher. It won't supplant the teacher.
Well, what did you like about it?
I don't know. I guess I like the last scene with Macbeth and what's-his-name fighting and Macbeth gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell what it looked like, you know?
Why don't you show me what you think it looked like? Stage it for us.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
I need to do a library search.
What is the subject?
I need an illustration of a medieval weapon used in Scotland. Let me see a close-up of this sword. That's outrageous. It's front-page material. This is gonna look great. Witnesses said the sword fight lasted just a few moments, with Macduff easily beating the battle-weary
Macbeth. No way. He didn't beat him easily. Holly.
All of a sudden, what's important is to let all the students go at different paces and let them even choose their own grades, and you know, that's what will work out better to motivate them.
All right, I'm ready to record. She should have died hereafter.
He put up a good fight. Oh, Macbeth. Look, replay the scene, please. And this is the way I'm staging it.
What makes you an authority?
Because I check my facts. I've seen lots of performances, and it was a good fight in every one of them.
Why are they fighting with rapiers? They should have broadswords.
Should have what?
No. This is an engraving from medieval Scotland, in Macbeth's time. You see, this is a broadsword.
How come they've used rapiers in every Shakespeare play I've seen?
But not in Macbeth. It's set in the Middle Ages. You must check your facts, good fellow.
The student can back up, ask a question about something, collaborate with a friend, and it doesn't run by continuously like television does. The resolution on the screen and what's presented should get more and more like live television with its fine graphics and actors for presentation reasons.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
The history of Renaissance art, the history of music, the history of other kinds of painting, stage, cinema. They're all ways of looking at the same thing. We're all doing the same thing, same work, but we're doing it in different ways. And saying, my God, isn't this exciting? Huh? what we have here to prove that mankind has moved from here to here and can move even further to here.
I mean, it may sound strange, but the very first Apple I that was ever built was actually given to a person back in the days before computers were ever heard of, who wheeled it into and taught 4th through 6th graders a little bit of the elements of what a computer is.
The virtue of the computer in the classroom is that it requires a user, not a watcher.
What we do in science is we build models. We do most of our testing with models. We do most of our thinking with models. And then later on, if we're honest, we try and relate these models back to the outside world. And these models are our voodoo dolls. They used to be built in mathematics. Now they're being built in increasing form on the computer. So simulation is what the computer is all about. And all the different ways you can simulate things are what the computer's destiny is.
The biggest problem teachers have is motivating students to want to learn. And if the computer can relieve the teacher of that burden, because the teacher today is competing with television and competing with a lot of distractions, if the teacher has that tool to bring the kids to a kind of a fever pitch of wanting to complete a task, wanting to see something accomplished successfully, then I think that this will become a tremendous resource for the teacher. It won't supplant the teacher.
Life is wonderful, huh? And you want to get that over to the kids.
Look, you can go over the top and come around to this side and look at it from the other side.
Good. Now, what about what's going on the inside?
Well, the crater up here was from an eruption a long time ago. You can see the cracks where the lava came down.
Okay.
Here's the top of the volcano. The crater was caused by an eruption a long time ago.
Show us where the magma is.
The part is the magma underneath the Earth's crust. Heat from the magma creates pressure against the surface of the Earth. When volcanoes erupt, the magma comes out through the cracks in the Earth's crust, and the cracks are called fissures. I knew that.
What's it really look like?
This is what a volcanic eruption looks like in real life.